Have you heard about Anchor? Well, it's one of the easiest ways to create a podcast. Not only is it 100% free, but it has a variety of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or a computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast to other sites such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many others for you. And Anchor even allows you to make money from your podcast without a required minimum listenership. So whether you've been in the podcasting game for a long time or you're completely new to it, Anchor is so user-friendly that it's basically your one-stop shop for making a podcast. So what are you waiting for? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. You're listening to First Fossil. Because sometimes you simply need someone to help you take that first fossil.
Hello and welcome to First Fossil, a show where we learn together how to take that first fossil toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. My name is Candace Olushala, and first off, I want to just say that Omicron is out here in these streets. Numbers are rising in so many places. I don't know if you're overseas where there's a lot of lockdowns going on in Europe, or if you're here in the States and the healthcare system is really struggling to keep up. But just be mindful of the holidays with all of the travels, that you stay safe and that you keep your loved ones safe as well. That's my little friendly neighborhood pharmacist tip of the day. And I just want to jump into the topic because today's topic is actually on grabbing your flashlight. And what I mean by that is that I want to take us down a road that helped me have my personal breakthrough to now live my most fulfilled life for the rest of my life. And that's always going to happen. I grabbed what I'm going to call my flashlight. And when I say that, I mean that I decided to go into the depths of my own pain, the depths of my own suffering. And I took the time to sit in those spaces and heal. Think of it like you have a basement. And I know not everyone has a basement, but if you have one, you know that sometimes going down in the basement can be really scary, really creepy, filled with cobwebs and bugs and mice and all sorts of things that you might not want to see. And sometimes your attic is like that, where you're not sure where to step. You haven't been up here in years. You don't even know what's in all these boxes. But oftentimes you might have to grab a flashlight. And in grabbing a flashlight, it allows you to see things in the darkest spaces. Our lives are like a house. In our houses, we store things, we carry things, we put things in storage on purpose to just save them. Why? Who knows? It makes us feel very confident and comfortable to have the things that we've been carrying around since we were in college for some reason that we're never going to use, we're never going to see. No one else is going to be needing it anytime soon or in the future, but we just carry all of this stuff. And some of it is things we actually don't want to go through. It's too painful. It's too much. It triggers us. It is overwhelming to even think about what's in it. But instead of getting rid of it, instead of looking at it, sorting through it, and allowing that to be something that we can get rid of, we just pretend it's not there. And then we wonder why we're suffering. We're suffering in silence. We have such negative outlooks on our own lives. We believe the things that are spoken over us that are absolutely disgusting and false, and we receive it as our truth. If I had anything to share with you, it would be to grab your flashlight. Grab your flashlight and go through that season, but only if you're ready, because healing is a choice. Let me say that again. Healing is a choice. It's not something that someone can push you into. It's not something anyone can pull you into. It is something that you have to say, I am choosing to heal. I will fight for my healing. I will do whatever it takes to have my breakthrough. I remember when I had this moment in my life. I remember sitting in my house, so frustrated and so dark, and I was alone. I actually wasn't in my house that I live in now. I was in my childhood home, and it was after the most destructive relationship that I had ever been in. And I felt like a walking corpse. I didn't feel like there was any option for light to be available to me. I didn't even think I was allowed to have a flashlight, even if I wanted one. And I thought that the darkness was just going to become who I was. But I didn't want it to be. I strongly and deeply desired and hoped that there may possibly potentially have the option for me to see light in my life again, like I had when I was a child. And I was so carefree and I loved living. I loved being in the world. And at that moment, I didn't feel anything. I couldn't feel emotions. I couldn't think straight. I was empty, just a box. I was like a coffin ready for someone to be laid to rest. It was so hard. And yet I chose my rock bottom, and I said, no, I'm grabbing a flashlight. I don't even care if I have to borrow it from somebody. I will get some kind of light, and I will fight to illuminate this space that is within me, called my spirit, called my soul. And I ran towards that opportunity. And let me tell you, it's scary. It is so petrifying when you realize that the dark spaces that you don't actually want to look at, it brings you back to spaces that you never really wanted to revisit, and yet your whole life is dictated on those very expressions and experiences that occurred in your past, and some that are actually actively happening. But every day, little by little, inch by inch, piece by piece, moment by moment, I found another reason to see light. I found more opportunities to go into other dark spaces and make sense of those. And there are some spaces that didn't make any sense to me, some things that I never actually received full clarity on. But that was okay, because the pieces that came together, the things that the little light that I had, and it illuminated those places that little light illuminated for me, was what I needed in that moment in my healing. 10 years later, I had my breakthrough, and I realized I actually didn't even need a flashlight in the first place. My house had a switch. I could have just turned on the house light in me. But all the lies in me told me I just had a flashlight. Life didn't want me to see everything. And when it came down to it, everything that was illuminated really was just a mirage of who I thought I was to be. And who I actually was revealed when I turned on the lights. You know, when you watch those movies, like, I don't know if some of you guys remember the Goosebump books or when they had the Goosebump movies, but you remember how sometimes it would be bright to start and then it would get really dark and things would go absolutely unnecessarily freaky. And then at some point when people wake up from their dream or they turn on the lights, it's as though everything is actually normal. That's what happened when I realized, after 10 years of using a flashlight with a dimmer that I was just slowly brightening more and more and more, my light was finally bright enough for me to see that I had a switch that had been plugged into my spirit for my whole life. And life and pain caused me to think otherwise. So when I turned on that switch, I could breathe again. Everything looked beautiful, and I couldn't believe that was me. I was well furnished. I was well decorated. I had more in me than I could have ever imagined 10 years prior in my darkest space, feeling like an empty house that no one had lived in so long that it was forgotten. So as 2021 is wrapping up, Christmas is here. It's just around the corner and the new year will be here any second now. I want to challenge you to think about whether or not you're ready to choose healing. Some of you guys might think that this might be really difficult, especially if you're in a season where the actual triggers are active. They are currently happening, they are repetitive, and they're not stopping. But let me tell you, let me encourage you that you still have the power to choose to fight against it. And all it takes is your mind. You have control of what you think. You don't have to receive every pain that comes your way. If it's physical pain, focus on the mental and hold on for dear life on the things that you want spoken over yourself and the way that you want life to be for you. This may hurt me, but I will break free. This may hurt today, but I will stand tall tomorrow. This might be destroying me, but I am about to be restored, rejuvenated. This is my time, and I will fight for my strength to win and to heal and to always be fulfilled, and no one will take that away from me. So take this time to repeat after me. Healing is mine today. I choose to heal. I know that life wants me to think that I am not worthy or capable of my healing. But my healing is for me. My healing is for the legacy in front of me. My healing is for my ancestors behind me. My healing is for the child within me. This healing is for me. Sit in that space, repeat it, go back through this podcast, think about what you would want to see in yourself, in how you will fight moving forward, going into 2022, letting yourself know that you are capable of the fight. Even if it means asking for help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Help is yours. It may be help on earth and it may be help from above, but you have the power. You have the access for help in ways that you may not even be able to imagine. If you need someone to talk to, if you need a coach, if you're looking for someone to pour into you and walk this journey with you, contact me. Contact me. I can be your life coach. I can be a mentor. I can point you in directions. If I don't have the resources, I would want to find them for you. But I would do everything in my power to make sure that you get what you need if you need it. I don't care if you're 5, 25, or 95. Healing is something that everyone truly needs in their life. We all have scars. We all have moments where we have been broken, where we have been shattered, where we have been picked at and picked apart so much that we feel like there's almost nothing left. But if we fight, and especially if we fight together, that's what this podcast is about, right? We're taking our first bastos together, and if this one is a hard one, let us walk with you. Let me walk with you. Let all of us that listen to this podcast walk with you through this journey. You're not alone. You are not alone. I see you. others see you. People may see you and may have never told you that they see you. And honestly, God sees you. You're seen, you're loved, you're chosen, and this is your season. And so I hope that everyone has a very reflective holiday, especially a holiday surrounded by one that was filled with light. And he chose to come into our dark space as a baby and illuminate this space as a flashlight for us, that we may be able to see our own dark spots. You have the power, you have the tools. It's in you. And I hope you can reflect on that this Christmas season. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for choosing today's episode. If you loved what you heard, if there are other topics, anything that you want discussed here, if you have a first possible experience that you're trying to figure out, but you haven't quite made it yet, you haven't put all the tools together, you haven't put all the pieces together, let me know. Send me a message. I'm also letting you guys know, one, I am deactivating my Instagram for my podcast. So everything is going to basically be on my main page at Candace Olushala. And then, of course, I have www.firstpaso.com. So you can always go to my website, go to my IG page. You can go to my TikTok, which is also at Candace Olushala. And you can find me, DM me, hit me up. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for contacting me when you do. I appreciate it. It's been a great journey this year, and I just really, truly love you guys for how you've poured into me as I have been able to pour back into you. And the second thing I wanted to tell you, just side note, one of my sponsors, if you go to my website and you go to my sponsors affiliations tab, you will see a link. It's actually in a picture form, the link, and there's a picture of the business Flawless. Flawless is having a sale of, I think, 15% off for this Christmas season. So if you want to buy skincare products, I'm telling you right now, I've had skin issues for a long time. And these products are natural, they're organic, they're eco-friendly, and they actually work. My hyperpigmentation was a struggle. And these are the only products that I actually trust and that have actually made my face clear up in ways that no other product that is being marketed out there has. So go to Flawless. It's flawlessnaturalsoaps.com. Go on their website and get the 15% off for the Christmas and New Year season. If that just so happens to be gone when you listen to this podcast, do not worry, because I have a discount code of 10% off. And you can just use Candy, that's CANDIE, the number 4, and then JC. And you can use that anytime you want to on her website. So you're welcome. Anyway, thank you so much. You guys have a great holiday. Love you guys so much. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Besitos. Bye.